In the last lecture from the diary of Annie Frank, we have learned that Annie was Jew, she was born in Germany, and she considers her diary to be her true friend. Though she had a loving family and loving mother and father and a very loving sister and aunt, still she does not consider any of them as a true friend. Instead, for her, her true friend was her diary. When she used to feel depressed, she thought of the saying that paper has more patience than people, so she considered the paper, that means the diary, as a true friend. She gives us the information about her father, about her mother, her sister, about that she lived in Frankfurt till she was 4 years old, and how the whole family, firstly the father, then mother, then her sister and she, all of them shifted to Holland. Then she gives us the information about when her grandmother fell ill and when she died. And after giving us all this information, she tells that today that she comes back to the present date of June 20, 1942. And she begins to write by saying again that, dearest Kitty, I have told you in the previous lecture that Kitty is her diary. She names her diary Kitty. She considers her diary as a person. And so when she considers her diary as a person, she tells that, dearest Kitty. It is not an inanimate thing to her. It is not a thing of which does not have a life. Instead, she considers her diary to be something which has a life in it. That is why she tells it as a true friend, and she adds that its name is Kitty. Annie, when she is writing about this incident that we are going to hear or learn, this incident belongs to her school days. She is not in her home now. She is not in her playground, not in any playground or in any park. Rather, she is in her school. She writes, dearest Kitty, our entire class is quacking in its boots. Quacking in its boot is an idiom. It means that trembling with fear. So the whole class was trembling with fear, she writes. What was the reason behind this? The reason is that the teachers would decide who would be promoted to the next grade and who wouldn't, means who would pass and who would fail. This decision was going to happen. So the entire class was trembling with fear. According to Annie, teachers are most unpredictable creatures on earth. So anything can happen, anyone can pass or anyone can fail. Though Annie was very sure that she would pass, the weak subject was maths. Still, she was sure that she is going to pass, but still she tells that the teachers are unpredictable. So anything can happen, anyone can pass or not. These types of thing can happen. So she tells that. Annie writes, I get along pretty well with all my teachers. So while mentioning about her teachers, the teachers are unpredictable, and while mentioning that everyone was trembling with fear, Annie writes that I get along pretty well with all my teachers. She has very good relationship with all the teachers. There are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women. 7 men teacher and 2 women teacher were there in Annie's school. Mr. Kissing, the old foggy who teaches maths, he was an old man who used to teach maths in Annie's school, was annoyed with me, she tells. Though Annie had very good relationship with all the teachers, but Mr. Kissing, the maths teacher, did not like Annie. She was very annoyed with Annie for ages. For ages means for many days. Why was Mr. Kissing annoyed with Annie? Because I talked so much, Annie tells. As because Annie talked a lot in the class, so this maths teacher did not like her at all. And though she had very good relationship with other teachers, but Mr. Kissing was annoyed. So, when the teacher was annoyed with Annie, he gave him several warnings. So, Mr. Kissing gave several warnings to Annie. But when Annie didn't listen of any of the warnings, he assigned Annie an extra homework essay on the subject. So, being annoyed, Mr. Kissing, after warnings, assigned Annie, told Annie to do an extra homework, an essay on the subject of chatterbox. The chatterbox was the subject on which Annie had to write an essay. But she didn't want to write an essay like a normal anything. Instead, Annie was so intelligent that she wanted to frame convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. Annie didn't want to lose. Annie wanted to win the argument. As Mr. Kissing was unsatisfied with Annie, Annie wants to tell that I have several reasons to talk. So, the chatterbox, the essay that was given as an extra homework to Annie, Annie wanted to give sufficient arguments about her talkative nature so that Mr. Kissing could understand why Annie talks so much. Annie writes, I argued that talking is a student's trait. Annie tells that talking all of the time that Annie does is a trait, is a characteristic of a student, and that I do my best to keep it under control. Annie is a very good girl. She is an obedient girl. So she tells what? She tells that I would do my best to keep it under control. Keep what? Keep her talking nature under control. But that I would never be able to cure myself of the habit. But Annie adds that I can't cure myself from the habit of talking. Why? Since my mother talked as much as I did, if not more, and that there's not much you can do about inherited traits. So Annie tells that talking is a characteristic of student. When a girl or a boy grow up, it's natural that the person will talk. The more the person talks, the more these things, the inside things, the emotion, the upbringing will flourish. When they talk, they express their emotion, they express what is going on in their head. At least when a student is totally quiet, he doesn't at all talks to anyone, that is a thing that he can't express his emotion. But when he or she talks, it means that he can express the emotion. He is at that condition of expressing. When a person, and also talking improves vocabulary. But what happens is that here Annie disturbs the whole class, which Mr. Kissing does not like, because Annie interferes in Mr. Kissing's work when she talks. And so Mr. Kissing punished Annie with this essay writing. And Annie argues that it is a characteristic of a student that students will talk, and that being an obedient girl, Annie will try to control this talkativeness. She tells, but that she will not be able to do that. She will not be able to control that fully. Why? Because it is her habit, as because her mother also talks so much. So she has got those traits from her mother. Sometimes people tell us that, oh, you look like your father, oh, you look like your mother, your nose is like your father, your ears are like your mother, and all sorts of things. So that means we have got those nose, ears and everything from our parents. So this is known as inherited, the thing that we get from our father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, or our family. Those things that we get from our family are known as inherited traits. Inherited physical features like nose and all, and this inherited trait is the mental characteristics also, the like the talkative nature also. Like the mother used to talk, the daughter will also talk. This type of thing Annie puts this argument. Okay. Now Mr. Kissing heard all these arguments, but Annie kept on talking again. So now what Mr. Kissing does? Mr. Kissing assigns her another essay, an incorrigible chatterbox. And so firstly it was a chatterbox, and then it's an incorrigible chatterbox. So the more Annie talks, the more punishment Annie gets. So Annie handed that essay also. Annie wrote that essay also. Now, after the second essay, Mr. Kissing again gives another essay. So now the turning point of the story is here. Mr. Kissing gave Annie another punishment. Mr. Kissing said, Annie Frank, as a punishment for talking in class, write an essay entitled Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. So, this is the name of the essay. Quack, Quack, Quack is here telling the how duck talks. The way the duck talks, the duck, what does the duck say? The duck say quack. So here Mr. Kissing is comparing Annie's talking and the way Annie talks to a duck. So Mr. Kissing tells quack, quack, quack means she is comparing the words of Annie with this quack word. So this was the third punishment that Mr. Kissing gave Annie. With the help of Sani was Annie's friend. So with the help of Sani, Annie finished her poem. Annie took the help of Sani, and instead of writing an essay, Annie thought that I would write a poem. So Annie wrote a poem, and according to Annie, it was beautiful. And what was the topic of this poem? The topic of this poem was Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. And Annie wrote that it was about a mother duck and a father swan with 3 baby ducklings. Ducklings are baby ducks who were bitten to death by the father because they quacked too much. As because I told you what we talk and what the duck says, the duck says quack. So there was a mother duck and a father swan, and there were 3 baby ducklings. The father swan put the ducklings to death by biting them. Why? Because they quacked so much. So this was the thing that Annie wrote in the form of a verse. Luckily, Mr. Kissing took the joke right away. So there is an inner meaning that is hidden in this poem, and luckily Mr. Kissing understood that. So what was the inner meaning? The inner meaning was the baby ducklings can be compared to Annie, as Mr. Kissing himself told Annie to write about quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. And so as he himself compared the quack word with the words that Annie speaks, and similarly Annie also compares the father swan to Mr. Kissing, as the father swan bite his 3 ducklings to death. Similarly, Annie wants to tell that Mr. Kissing is disturbing her so much that it can be compared to that father swan who bite the ducklings to death. Luckily, Mr. Kissing understood that he was looked at them with a perspective, with a view that he was a villain in here. He was not the hero. Instead, he was a villain, and he was disturbing the baby duckling, that is baby Annie. So he luckily understood that she was luckily Mr. Kissing understood that he was not being good to Annie. Instead, he was a villain in Annie's eyes, and he was disturbing Annie by because Annie was talking. So it was so he was compared to the father swan who bite the baby ducklings. So after understanding this, that Mr. Kissing is looked upon as a villain, Mr. Kissing since then Annie tells that I have been allowed to talk. After understanding this, that Mr. Kissing is hampering Annie's talkative nature, hampering Annie's growth, Mr. Kissing allowed Annie to talk, and since then he haven't assigned Annie with any extra homework. Since then he allowed Annie to talk, and he never assigned Annie any extra homework. So in here you can see Annie is constantly giving arguments. Annie is constantly telling that why the student talks, what the inherited trait means. As because my mother used to talk, so I have got it from her, and so I can't control. She's a very obedient girl. She tells that I can't. I will try to control. She is a very good girl that she handed her essay to Mr. Kissing also, and that when Mr. Kissing gave her another essay, she is very creative enough to convert that essay into verse with the help of Sani, and she writes about comparing a father swan who father swan with Mr. Kissing, and the baby ducklings with Annie herself, and he tells that the three baby ducklings were bitten to death by the father swan, just as Mr. Kissing is biting Annie continuously by providing essays, by disturbing her. Why? Because Annie, just like the baby duckling, were talking. So this was only fault of Annie that she was talking, and that's why, as the father swan was a villain and he bite the duckling, in similar manner Mr. Kissing is also biting Annie with those, giving those essay. He is disturbing Annie. So this is what Annie tells, and Mr. Kissing understood this, and since then Mr. Kissing does not give her any homework.